In these videos, I look at an individual player's roster and I see where I can put my input to help improve their arena rank. First off, what we can see, Ren's current rank is 26. He runs a Rex lead, which is a great leadership. Followed by that, he has Darth Nihilus, Kylo Ren, Imperial TIE Fighter, and Shore Trooper. So his rank over the last 30 days has kind of been going up and down, so it looks like he's had a forward and backwards battle. We can see around 30 days ago, he was ranked 26, so there hasn't been a much improvement. On that, I've seen that he did drop to 43, but he has climbed up, but it has been a forwards and backwards battle. So we definitely need to see what he's doing wrong or what team composition is he running that isn't helping his Rex leadership. What we can also see on here that he did make it all the way to rank 9, so congratulations on that. But defensively, his team didn't really hold that well, and it lost 17 positions in the space of a day. This could have been more. This is his final rank when this time is taken. The first thing that I'm going to say about this team is that he should not be running Shore Trooper. Shore Trooper is a great auto taunter, but because of his kit, it weakens the Rex leadership. So if we have a look at the Rex leadership, it's called Brother in Arms, and what we can see so far that clone allies gain 20% max health, so that's great for Rex, and other allies gain half that amount, so they're going to be getting that 10%. In addition, whenever an ally suffers a critical hit, all clone allies gain 15% turn meter, and other allies gain half that amount, so that's going to be 7.5% turn meter gain for non-clone allies. So that's great, that's a great leadership, and especially in the day and age of the arena. The issue that you've got with Shore Trooper, however, Shore Trooper will open on an auto taunt, so that's great, that is what he's there for. He also has a special ability called Regroup. All allies recover health equal to 24% of Shore Trooper's max health. That is great because that's making him a healer, but they also gain critical hit immunity for 2 turns. And that is something that you do not want in a Rex team, because it's kind of like you're going to be starting on fresh, you know, you're going to get those kind of like critical hits from the enemy team. Your team's going to get turn meter, but when Shore Trooper then takes his kind of like turn and gives everybody that crit immunity, then you're slowing your team down and nullifying it because you won't be getting any turn meter, and it kind of then ends that kind of like crusade that you're currently on. There is a great little rework that's happened to Shore Trooper, and it will probably make him less beneficial for a Rex team. He now gains critical hit immunity too, so whenever anybody's attacking him, he's not going to be feeding anyone turn meter anymore. This is the part where we're going to be looking at Ren Startor's collection. As we can see, he has a Vader, a Kylo Ren, Emperor Palpatine, so he does have quite a few dark side characters. He does have his Rex leadership. He has Jedi, you know, he's even got Leia. You know, Leia was kind of the hot stuff not too long ago. You know, she was one of the meta characters that were most used across the arena, but we're talking, well, last year. In his lineup, he's still using TIE Fighter Pilot and Rex, so we're going to see if we can change them 2 characters or really give an indication of what to do, where to replace them. He's got his droids, as we can see, which is great. I don't even have all my droids geared as of yet. Some important characters that were, again, they were meta characters. You had your Boba Fett, he's gear 9 currently, his Sidious is gear 9, but they're not really going to be improving his team to the point where he's going to be then getting top 10, so we need to see what kind of influential characters will do that. As what we've seen, he does have a Zeta Kylo Ren, so you definitely want to be using your Kylo Ren for the offense. Maybe look at changing him on the defense because he's not that great. I can see that you've already 7-starred your R2-D2, so congratulations on that. He's definitely going to be helping you against those kind of like more leaderships. We still need to get Shore Trooper out of your team. You've got your Nihilus here at 5-star, so it looks like you are doing your Nihilus. Keep doing him because you can always change. If metas change, you can always put him into a leadership role within your team. You've got General Kenobi at 6 stars. You need to gear this character. He is a great character. He's kind of similar to what Shore does. He will give crit immunity, but it will only be for 1 turn, which isn't too bad compared to a buff that is for 2 turns. And General Kenobi will auto taunt, so it does help your team a great deal. So I can see that you've got your Shrew at 5-star. This is great, but you really do need a base to partner him. The last thing that I can see on here is that you don't currently have a base Malbus. If you do spend it all within this game, he is definitely worth paying those shards for because he is a very long farm through a hard node. So I had a little peek at your mods and I did see that you were lacking a collection of mods. So we're going to kind of keep this brief and I'm going to see if there's any kind of errors that you've made putting them. And what I can see straight away, you can put tenacity on Rex, but sometimes potency or protection is going to be better. Most people will go for protection to make him a little bit more tankier, because you don't really need that tenacity. In your team, yes, because you want him to kind of like put his cleanse up as quick as possible, but the tenacity versus potency kind of thing, I don't know how it works, but it does seem to favour potency more than it does tenacity. So I've ranked characters that have had like 95% tenacity and they still get stunned just as much. They still get a buff blocked. So I personally move away from using any tenacity mods and I go with protection to make a character more tankier, or potency when needed. That removal of turn meter is great, but it's not game changing, where the longer Rex can stay alive, the more cleanses that he's going to be able to put up. Pretty much how I would mod him. I think the only difference on here would be the triangle. You could go with whatever you want. If you wanted to make him hit a little bit harder, you could also do that. But health, speed, I can see the reason and why you've gone for that health, for that plus 10 speed. But yeah, I don't see anything wrong with your Nihilus that we could make any changes from the mods that you've currently got. Kylo Ren, the only two things that I would change on him is, I can see you've currently got the protection, the plus protection cross. I would generally change that for a potency, because you're going to be using outrage a lot more, and what better if you can land those stuns, land that healing immunity on his basic. It's definitely going to be helping you when you're user controlling him. I can also see that you've put the triangle critical damage mod on him. I would probably personally take that off and put critical chance. I noticed you had a critical chance on your TIE Fighter pilot, depending how that's working out for you, of course. I just feel it's more beneficial on the Kylo Ren because he can do a lot of damage with a lot of debuffs on him, far greater than what TIE Fighter pilot does. Doing a crit on Kylo Ren to a non-crit is a massive difference of that protection you're going to be getting back through his outrage ability. I think your TIE Fighter pilot's spot on. You know, you could go with a potency again on him, but it's not a must. The critical chance, if you wanted to change that over to critical damage, your Shore Trooper looks spot on. I would do the same with him personally. I would put a lot of protection on him. I wouldn't really put speed. Issue that you're getting again is he's an auto taunter that's going to be gaining that kind of like turn meter from the Rex leadership. Then he's going to be then putting up his special ability that's then going to nullify your entire team. So he's going to come out of taunt quick to use his special ability. Then he's then just going to ruin that turn meter gain and speed that you're receiving from Rex's leadership. So the final thoughts that I've got for you to take away from this is that you definitely want to be still using your Kylo Ren. Rex leadership is great, but there will come a day where he's not as useful. We know from Nihilus leadership that he does non-crit attacks, so that's definitely going to change things up if there is more Rex leads. As we already know, things are changing, R2-D2's out, Sith may not be as viable as what they once were, and when people see, and players in particular, when they see that their team isn't viable, they then start to move to look for another meta, and that could be the Nihilus. Great thing is that you do have a Nihilus at 5-star, so keep continuing on him because yours is gear 11. Currently, I'd say that you need to farm some mods and you need to get on that as much as possible and do that. There is no characters that I can see right now that you need to go out and get. The one character that I would say to farm is Sith Assassin. You have a good amount of Sith, so why not add her to your collection? Gear her up because she's going to do great for you if things do move over where Nihilus lead is more viable than what he currently is. Gearing wise, General Kenobi, finish your General Kenobi. You've got a 6-star General Kenobi and he's going to make a world of difference for your team, and you need to take out Shore Trooper for him. You don't need to have an opening taunter because if the enemy team does crit against you, your General Kenobi is then going to taunt straight away. Definitely gear up R2-D2 when you can because he's really going to help you against these Zeta Maul teams. If you do spend a little bit of money in the game, then Baze Malbus is the one character that you really want to be getting on. He is a great character and goes well with another character that is currently free to play, and that would be Sharut. He's a rebel, he goes great with R2-D2 as well, and how the game is changing, if more rebels do get added, Baze Malbus is going to be one of those characters where you're going to want to have him. The other characters that are worth mentioning that you want to be getting hold of or gearing up is Dooku. If you do move over to a Nihilus lead, then Dooku under his Zeta ability. If you was to change to a Nihilus lead in the future, then you're definitely going to be wanting to have Dooku because he's an absolute beast under a Nihilus lead and he's going to be making that huge presence, and that's why I do believe that a Nihilus lead could happen, or if it hasn't happened already, it will happen. Gear up your B2 and get him to at least gear 10 because he's a great character and he's definitely worth using against Zeta Maul. Works great with R2-D2 and he's great against this Sharut based Rex teams too. when you can do your Boba Fett, because he's one of those characters that will come in and out of the meta. At the moment, he's kind of silenced because of Nihilus, and Nihilus overall does a better job of what Boba can do. But nevertheless, Boba could be back again, and he could be stronger. It just depends how the game changes, what happens, and what comes out as a counter to Nihilus. I do hope this arena review has been helpful to everybody, and you've been able to get some information away from it. If you have enjoyed this video, then please make sure that you are hitting that like button and subscribing. So what is your thoughts? Is there anything else you would do different from what I've advised? Is there anything or any questions that you've currently got? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching this arena review. I'm the Smithy D. May the Force be with you always.